Greetings YouTube. Today we're going to look at a WEN power file. So this is the object in question. This is a sanding belt right here. This is the unit, and here is some info on the other side. Half inch by 18 belt sander, 120 volts, 60 hertz, speed 1100 to 1800. So pertinent information. This is for changing your angle. You can loosen this so you can change the angle because you need to. This is for attaching a vacuum hose if you'd like to do some vacuum collection while you're doing it. And it did come with a couple of extra belts, and when I purchased this I bought a second set, or I bought an entire set of them, of 4 different belt grits. I think there's 4 at each. There's 16 belts total. I think that's how it works. And I picked them up from a different company for, like, it was wicked cheap. It was like 12 or 13 bucks. This, I believe I paid 36 bucks for. If I remember correctly. I think I got the whole thing for like 50 bucks. So I was quite happy with that. And I didn't even know this piece of technology existed prior to watching the Slingshot channel and watching George Sprave use one to shape his slingshot handles, the actual slingshots themselves. He makes a lot of them out of wood, and he was using one of these, and I'm like, I've never seen one of these things. So I'm like, what the heck is it called? So I poked around, and eventually I figured out they're called a power file, and I found out that there is a distinct difference in price. You can get a cheaper one of these from like Harbor Freight. This was the next step up, the WEN. But after this, the next step from like 36 bucks or whatever I paid for this was like 130 or 170. So it was a big difference. You can also get air-powered versions of this if you don't want an electrical one. If you use a lot of power air tools, particularly in a mechanic shop, that's probably going to be very common. You can get those for this as well. So why did I want a belt sander that's only a ½ inch wide? Well, specifically, I wanted it to be able to do that. To be able to get inside things and deburr them quickly and efficiently. I'm going to show you that in a second. But also because it is far more dynamic. So I can move that just the same way I can move a reel file. And I have complete control over what it's doing. So that is the reason. Now let's see if I can turn this on without hurting myself with a tool. There we go. I'm not left-handed, so we're going to give this a shot. There you go. Now you see how quickly you can those things. I'm doing this left-handed. This is not how I normally do anything. See if I can turn this thing off. There we go. Yeah, nice job. And I don't actually have to do the other sides. The project I'm working on right now does not require that to be deburred at all, actually. I just did it to demonstrate how the tool is designed to function. And I've just got this. I mean, I've had it out of the package about 20 minutes, and I've used it twice already. I used it on that thing right there, and I used it on this to knock off some of the edges and to put a slight, take a slight burr off the inside of this, and it did an excellent job. So obviously, if you're looking for a finer grit, finer polish, you'd use a finer grit belt, but I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking at the moment to knock off burrs, and this will allow me to knock off burrs on the insides of tubes, which is going to be something which will make my life much easier. Also on the inside of curves, something else that you can't really do with a standing belt sander as easily. It was also hopefully going to help me be able to sharpen larger blades that are awkward to use on the belt sander. So those are the reasons I got this thing. I also thought it was just really darn cool, just like this little belt sander in your hand. That's just a really cool idea. I have found that even though this is like textured down here, I find my grip is here. I'm very comfortable here with my hand. I'm not using a vacuum system on this. So it's going to be, produce a little dust, but then so does my angle grinder, as you can tell from my bench. It's got angle grinder bits all over it. And this is permanently colored from my angle grinder because I've ground so many things and cut so many things on my bench top. Alrighty, so thank you for being here. I hope you found this interesting, and I really happen to like this WEN power file. I'm glad I picked it up, and I'm looking forward to using it in the future and saving me lots of effort, and that I would have to have used a normal non-powered file with. So yay for power tools. Sometimes they can make our lives so much easier.